So we're actually going to play now a 5-minute interview I recorded with Gunargie O'Sullivan. She is a First Nations broadcaster here in the city. She is operating out of Co-op Radio and CJSF. And she'll be talking about what we can expect at the event at the Interurban Gallery on the 14th and generally what the Red Jam Slam Society is all about. So here it is. Here's Gunargie O'Sullivan telling us everything we need to know.
Well, the Red Jam Slam Society was founded by myself in June 2010, on June the 10th. Correct. The Red Jam Slam Society was founded on June 10th, 2010. And since its conception, we have held a number of events, one of them being a festival which happened last year. And it was a really great attempt at our first festival, and a part of the Red Jam Slam Society's mandate is to hold a festival a year and hold events that will promote, educate, and encourage other First Nations people about First Nations issues. So we had this great opportunity to go in partnership with the National Community Radio Association and the Indian Residential School Society, and we applied for funding through the Truth and Reconciliation commemorative grant. And we got this grant, which will then allow us, the NCRA and the Red Jam Slam Society and the Indian Residential School Society, to participate in allocating these funds to 40 different radio stations to train 40 different Aboriginal people in their regions to go and collect stories from the areas that they live in that pertain to the legacy of the residential school, whether you're a residential school survivor, intergenerational survivor, or somebody who is just remotely affected by the residential school. It still has its impact on the people as a community. So we wanted to identify that from region to region and also give these stations an opportunity to train Aboriginal people in their community, thereby building a bridge which will allow us to reconcile with the rest of Canada in a mutual respectful way. But a part of that whole Resonating Reconciliation grant is that the Red Jam Slam Society holds regional events across Canada. And so we'll be holding Red Jam Slam events featuring artists who've dealt with residential schools through various mediums such as music, film, art, poetry, you name it. They'll be invited to perform at these Red Jam Slams. The very first Red Jam Slam will be on February 14th, 2013. We're very excited to be holding a Resonating Reconciliation Red Jam Slam in honor of the missing and murdered women on February 14th at the Interurban Gallery, which is located on Hastings and Carroll, which is right across from Pigeon Square. And what we will be doing is we'll start off at 9 o'clock with an opening from people of this territory, the Squamish territory. After that, we'll have a panel which will include spokespeople from the Indian Residential School Society, spokespeople from Health in Canada will be there, plus we'll Skype in one of the commissioners from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Ottawa. And we'll also have residential school survivors from a street level share their stories with the listeners of Co-op Radio, because we're also providing a remote which will allow us to air the Red Jam Slam live as the event unfolds. All kinds of exciting things going on. Cheryl Bear will be there. She's a gospel singer, plus Ray Thunderchild, who is also known as Bigfoot, who you've seen on such TV shows as Blackstone and Health Nuts and so on and so forth. And then in the evening, we're going to have an opening by Christy Charles, who is from the Musqueam Reserve. She's a rapper who raps in her language. And we also have Butterflies in Spirit, who are made up of a dancing group who are made up of the missing and murdered families of the missing and murdered sisters and aunties and moms of these missing and murdered women. So that group is called Butterflies in Spirit. Sandy Schofield will be there, Wayne LaValle, Kala and Wee, There will be people, comedians such as Patsy Wagon and Chuck Cease will also be there, who is a fellow comedian. Curtis Sehenecue, Dwayne Howard, all comedians. And then we have the other musicians such as Gail Bowen, who is a blues singer. And then we also will have a band called Res Warriors, and they have some songs about the residential schools in their lineup as well. All kinds of musicians are going to be there. It's going to be a jam-packed evening, full of ideas about the residential school, full of ideas about healing from that whole experience, and we'll be able to share that with you. And we hope that you will come and join us at the Interurban Gallery, and that you enjoy the series of interviews that you'll be hearing here on CiTR